Bryce here, and welcome to my DAOpunks Cohort 3 update video 2. Now, in the first video went a little long, so I'm trying to keep this one a bit shorter. Fingers crossed, see how we do. Today we're by a waterfall, Shoshone Falls to be specific. I hope this microphone is doing its job and we're not picking up the sound from the waterfall too terribly much. Fingers crossed on that as well. Speaking of my first video, it was a bit of an intro to myself. I talked about applying to the cohort. My thank you video from the top of Mount Fuji, completely by coincidence, mind you. And, kind of alluded to what I'm going to be exploring over the course of this cohort, which is what it means to me to be a DAOpunk. And I'll link to that post and that other video in the description for this video and in the blog post. And that ties directly into the reason that I applied in the first place, which is that I stated I wanted to stay in the game, which really begs the question, what game are you playing? In this case, I was directly talking about the work game. Now, I've got notes here because I kind of wrote this out before I got here, which should theoretically make it easier to do the written transcription if I decide not to have it automatically done. But as we go through these cohort posts, I want you all to keep two, let's just call them themes at the ready, and these will be guiding us through our posts. Think of them as kind of North Stars, if you will. Now, these are not necessarily new ideas, but maybe existing ideas through a different kind of lens, and they are as follows. Number one, your actions need to align with your values. And number two, if you don't like the game, change the rules or, play a different game. And in my case, I didn't like the work game I was playing, so I changed the game. And this is how I found myself in Web3 and working in a DAO. And, this is what DAOpunks is kind of all about, right? Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more, and we will go back to that DAOpunks mission statement for a hot second, which is once again as follows. DAOpunks' mission is to enable humans to liberate themselves from the soul-sucking drudgery of default world work and lead them to the rewarding expanse of freedom found in meaningful DAO work. So, at the core of DAOpunks is this idea of moving from a corporate punk to a DAO punk, if you will, a tradcore off-ramp to a DAO life on-ramp. And why is this so? Because we don't like the drudgery as stated in the mission statement. Basically, we don't like the fucking game. So we are changing the game, changing what it means to work. And we are writing new rules, providing a choice. And that is huge for a lot of people, for a lot of us, because we feel we have no choice, like we are trapped, we have no options, and that is kind of making us miserable. Now, this isn't a lecture on doing what you love. That isn't always realistic and can get you into trouble if you are not careful. What I'm saying, though, is that you need to look at your values and use that to guide you, a kind of value for value. I position myself, us, you, me, we position ourselves in a way that aligns with our values. We are talking about actions here. And we provide values to others. And I guarantee you will find joy in this. And who knows, it might actually be doing what you love. Who's to say? Not me. That's a question you have to answer for yourself. So as homework for today, as a kind of homework exercise, I want you to think about your values and what is truly important to you. Probably best to write this shit down. And then after you get that taken care of, see how this lines up with your current work game, your current work situation. And, be honest. Be, brutally honest with yourself. And remember, it doesn't have to be like a one-to-one. For example, maybe you are in, the landscaping and lawn care business. And, maybe you don't necessarily love it, but, it's fine. It's okay. You don't mind it too much. You're providing clear value to your customers. And in return, you are making a decent living and providing for your family. And maybe you have a flexible work schedule and you get to work outdoors. And these are your values. So in this instance, you're playing a good game. Conversely, maybe it meets none of your values, then, you need to change your game. And I think many of you in, let's say, the desk life, the corporate world already kind of feel like your actions are not aligning with your values and you're not really providing any value and you're not being fulfilled. Well, this is a clear case for corporate punk to DAOpunk. And it's the idea. It's just, ideas are power. But I can't. Oh, I scrolled too far and I read the wrong thing. But, you might say, I'm scared, or there's too much at stake, or, I just don't know. Uncertainty, sure, unknown, yes. Difficulty ahead, probably. Excuses, definitely. But it all comes down to this. You got to ask yourself one question, and that is, how fucking bad do you want it, It really is that simple, or at least the decision to do something is that simple. Because, man, life's just too short to be miserable. So, I say it again. How fucking bad do you want it? I wanted it pretty bad, so here I am. Anyway, this is all well and good. We got some thoughts out in the open. I did pretty good on time. We're under 10 minutes, so that's awesome. And you got a little bit of possibly life-changing homework. But we are not ending it here. You see, I don't think we are thinking big enough about these ideas. I don't just want to talk about the work game. I want to talk about the game of life. That's right, I said it. Not the board game, but the actual game of life. And we will dive into that next week. Rug pull! See you then.